Well, I don't know if I like your tone. It's most challenging. Is that what you're doing, challenging me?
I object to you. I object to intellect without discipline. I object to power without constructive purpose.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage. It's me, Nora, your host. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It's freezadoodles in here, guys. I just ran down here. It's Trauma Tuesday. So I'm about to go to my last trauma group therapy session. But yeah, I'm excited about that. But I wanted to talk about a couple things. Okay, well, actually, just one thing right now. We'll come back later with another show afterwards. I'm still thinking about the live that I did yesterday about, changing things up and things like that. And the conclusion I've come to so far is that I do want to change things up. Absolutely. I don't believe I'm going to keep the political channel all by itself, right? Because politics is so divisive, but I want to keep talking about it. So I'm going to keep my Own America channel totally separate. But what I'm thinking right now is that I may want to, do my exercise content here. And it may involve a name change. We'll see. We'll see. But I may just put both those things in here. And then I just have two channels to really focus on and really get great content out on. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But what I want to talk about today is American Horror Story. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever watched it. We're on season 7 of American Horror Story. And this article came across my desk here that I thought was super, super interesting. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what American Horror Story is, it's a series that it's like a little, it's a mini series every time it comes out, essentially. And it's taking on different things each time. So every season is called like something else, and it's totally different than the first season, right? So this is the article that I've got here. 1 second. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Here we go. So this is from Ranker. It was written by Sawyer Grant from yesterday, December 9th. So it says American Horror Story, AHS, as it's colloquially known as, Cult, because this season is called AHS Cult, had creepy real-life inspiration from Manson to Scientology. All right. So is American Horror Story Cult based on a true story? There are plenty of references to cults in that inspired AHS Cult. Ryan Murphy loves his not so subtle homages and Easter eggs, with Evan Peters played a number of infamous leaders in flashbacks. Okay. Evan Peters is this young man here who is a fantastic actor. If you've never seen him before, you may have seen him in the Marvel series as Quicksilver in an X-Men film. He also played the alternative Quicksilver in the Marvel series WandaVision. So yeah, he's unbelievably dynamic and versatile as an actor. Some of the most obvious inspiration comes from Charles Manson, Scientology, and even Jim Jones. So which cult leader does Kai most resemble? Why is Lena Dunham playing Valerie Salinas? And what's the cult's ultimate goal? Dun, dun, dun. Here are the ties to real-life cults you can find while watching American Horror Story Season 7. The Manson family girls dressed much like Winter does. While Kai is the more obvious choice when it comes to picking characters that are reminiscent of famous cult leaders, his sister Winter bears a strong resemblance to an infamous cult member herself. Winter's long hair and her 60s. Oh, no, thank you. Excuse me. No, thank you. I hate pop-ups. And her 60s goth bohemian wardrobe give off some serious Manson girls vibes. Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Leslie Van Houten, who all played a part in the slaying of Sharon Tate, shared similar aesthetic to Winter. Maybe the styling is supposed to be a direct reference to the female Manson family members. Okay. Preying on people's insecurities is a typical cult recruitment tactic. Kai shows an aptitude for manipulation that is emblematic of many cult leaders. This is very true. He comes across as very perceptive, and he's able to pinpoint people's fears and insecurities and use them as a means of recruiting them into his cult. That's called cold reading. Okay, Scientology pretends it's using science as its cold reading when they do the OCA test, right? But all of that is a cold read. Okay, you're just given instructions on how to do the cold read when you do the little class that tells you how to interpret the OCA test. But all of that is a cold read. His approach with Harrison is prime example of this. In the episode 11:9, Kai approaches Harrison and pinpoints his fears before implying he can absolve him of said fears. He makes Harrison share his regrets and disappointments while simultaneously proving his loyalty to him. Very culty. Kai also offers Harrison a sense of belonging, referring to his crew and how he would do anything for them. He distinguishes himself from someone else in Harrison's life who obviously doesn't treat him well, his boss at the gym, and helps Harrison to overcome the situation through brutal means, thus bringing them, binding them on a personal level. Okay, now this one here is fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, Beth, I'm live. You paused me and you thought I wasn't here. No, I'm here. The pinky finger ritual is derivative of a Scientology practice. The pinky finger ritual, in which members of Kai's cult link little fingers, okay, while they're facing each other, and answer probing questions about their biggest fears, could be compared to the auditing process used in Scientology. Yes, look at the eye contact there. The church's official description of auditing is as follows. Quote, the goal of auditing is to restore beingness and ability. This is accomplished by 1, helping individuals rid themselves of any spiritual disabilities, and 2, increasing spiritual abilities. Okay. Yeah, auditing doesn't do any of that. It seems like Kai's finger ritual, that sounds very dirty. It seems like Kai's pinky finger ritual is meant to alleviate the interviewee's fears by forcing transparency. But it could also be a means of Kai discovering more about his followers' fears and gathering more information that he can use for manipulative purposes. But there are more parallels. Dun, dun, dun. Remember how in the first episode, Kai asked Winter if she was a lesbian and about her experiences with re-entry intercourse? It seems the Scientology auditing process is similarly fascinated with such relations. Author of The Church of Fear Inside the Weird World of Scientology, John Sweeney, wrote that the question of auditing, the big thing is intimate relations. Who did you have relationships with? What was she wearing? What was he wearing? What did you do? What did they do? So Kai is using his interrogations as a mean of leverage and manipulation, like the Church of Scientology. That could be the case. Most cults promise better lives, one of Kai's driving tactics. Kai takes another tactic from the Cult Leader Handbook, which you can buy at Walmart, apparently. By offering his would-be followers a better alternative to their less than awesome existence. He offers Harrison acceptance in the vague promise of sexual favors. He offers Meadow the affection and love she always craved from Harrison, but was never given. He offers Beverly a solution to her career problems, and he offers Ivy the chance to have full custody of her son Ozzy by driving her wife mad. It seems like Kai is fully embodying the personality type shared by many cult leaders. He promises everything to his followers could want, offering himself as the only solution to their woes. Does this sound familiar? Lafayette. Convincing followers to end their own lives is something both Kai and Jonestown leader Jim Jones share. Fun. Kai already demonstrated that he manipulated one of his followers into dying for him. He convinced Meadow to attempt to end him before turning the gun on herself. Could this be the show's way of referencing the Jonestown Massacre of 1978? For some context, Jim Jones headed up a cult and orchestrated a mass suicide that 900 of his followers took part in which Jones referred to as a revolutionary suicide. And it's probably not a coincidence that Jim Jones is referenced in the same episode that Meadow ends herself. The dearly departed, gone too soon, Sally Keffer, Kai's potential opposition in the race for city council seat, name drops Jones during her monologue about the patriarchy being threatened. Maybe the Jim Jones mentions are foreshadowing of Kai's plans to have the cult members terminate themselves by the season's end. Now, don't forget, guys, this fun guy, Charles Manson, was also a one-time Scientologist. Charles Manson invented the cult of personality, and Kai is following right in his footsteps. I don't think he invented that. I think he realized what Lafayette was doing, and he made it into his own thing. Because Charles Manson also, like L. Ron, not an attractive guy, but used that charisma, if you're play one of those MMOPG games where you can up your charisma, you can up your strength, you can up your looks. He just put it all into charisma, all of those points. And that's how he became a cult leader. Regardless of whether your political views align with Kai's, he's undeniably charismatic. That explains why even left-leaning Hillary supporters like Winter and Ivy have been lured into his group. He's not necessarily a cult of ideology, but rather a cult of personality. In that sense, Charles Manson is an obvious inspiration for Kai's character. Manson was said to be incredibly charismatic and magnetic, so much so that he was able to get other Manson family members to slay people and never did any of the dirty work himself. Yeah. He literally convinced women to do all those things for him. Kai manages to get the cult members to end RJ, each of them shooting him in the head with a nail gun, while he extrapolates about how the record for the most nails shot into a human head is 13. He also is able to convince Harrison to slay his boss at the gym without lifting a finger himself. In this sense, he's similar to Charles Manson. Add to that, Peters will play Manson in a flashback coming up in this season. See, so he's even going to play the inspiration there. Andy Warhol invented the cult of celebrity. Andy Warhol is definitely not in the same league as Charles Manson or Jim Jones, but Evan Peters plays him in the Lena Dunham starring episode, Valerie Salinas Died for Your Sins, Scumbag. Andy Warhol is associated with the term cult of celebrity, which isn't exactly like other cults represented on the show, but is a concept that perfectly encapsulates the way people gravitate toward people of supposed influence. Right? Cults of celebrity is big time, bad news bears kind of stuff, right? Because people get sucked into that and end up, following these trends and doing stuff without even realizing it, right? which isn't exactly like other cults represented on the show, but is a concept that perfectly encapsulates the way people gravitate toward people of supposed influence. Kai understands this groupthink, again, another Scientology reference, okay, all too well. If politics wasn't the most newsworthy way to get attention in modern society, he probably would have gone into modeling or acting or some other form of celebrity. Warhol set up The Factory in New York in the 60s. It was a haven for artists and creative types, and Warhol had something of an untouchable figurehead type of vibe. Warhol is a perfect example of where clique and cult meet. How cool inclusion feels. His group's artistic focus also mirrors the creative gore and methods used by the nefarious clown cult, costumes and all. Oof. Clowns, guys, clowns freak my freak. Clowns literally freak my freak. Meadows' assassination attempt mirrors the one that made Andy Warhol even more famous. In 1968, feminist writer Valerie Salinas shot Andy Warhol. The bullet hit Warhol in the abdomen, and he survived. Lena Dunham plays Salinas in the flashback on the show. Is Ryan Murphy drawing parallels between what happened to Warhol and Kai being shot by Meadow? In Midwestern Assassin, Meadow didn't eliminate Kai. She hit him in the leg before turning the gun on herself. It stands to reason that Murphy is pointing out how history has proven that manic follower can be pushed into breaking point when they feel rejected by their group or cult, and also emphasizes where Kai learned the easiest way to rise to the top of people's radar. Nothing gets attention and sympathy like an infamous attempt on someone's life. Assassination attempts, anyone? Yeah, those will raise your profile. David Koresh knew how to manipulate the bottleneck of political bureaucracy. David Koresh was another cult leader name dropped in Sally Keller's Mayor Winningham's monologue. Koresh was the head of the Branch Davidians cult, an offshoot of the Davidian Seventh-day Adventist Church that was formed in the 1960s. This group occupied a piece of land just outside of where? Waco, Texas, and spent their days waiting around for Jesus's return. They're just waiting for Jesus to come back. David Koresh convinced his cult he was the Messiah, even while embroiled with scandals about relations with children, and while having a harem of wives, while in possession of unauthorized firearms, and while accused of drug manufacturing. I mean, but this guy's like, guys, look over here. I'm the Messiah. Don't look behind the door. The government caught up with the cult and raided the Waco compound. We know how this goes, guys. What followed was a 51-day standoff between the Branch Davidians and the authorities that resulted in the demise of roughly 80 people. Okay. Keffler mentions the Waco incident and politician Janet Reno's involvement in it. The line between politicians and cult leaders is a fine one. Kai and his cult meet such a bloody end. Whether Kai and his cult will meet such a bloody end remains to be seen. And Peters will play Koresh in an upcoming episode flashback, but Koresh's history clearly has influenced the show. Jim Jones, look at that guy. He's not an Elvis impersonator, I promise. Jim Jones recruited his followers with the same love that Kai claims to have. Kai and Jim Jones share some significant similarities, the main one being the way in which they make their followers feel important and valued. Okay? Jones had the unique talent of making everyone feel special in some way. It is rumored that Jim Jones possibly attended a Scientology lecture, at one point, and then just started his own thing. He strikes me as the kind of guy, though, that was always looking for a way to be the leader, He could make everyone feel as if he or she was the guest of the day. Similarly, Jones knew how to keep his followers separated from those who would try to convince them to see reason. Bum, bum, bum. Insulation. Peters will play Jones at some point in the season. It will be interesting to note which of Jones' infamous cult leader traits and offenses will be depicted in the show. This is another story. This is not the 80 best fast food restaurants ranked. No, thank you. All right, guys. So there's clear, like in this case, art is imitating life, right? We have this show brilliantly made, written, and directed by Ryan Murphy, who is kind of a television genius that is clearly not only taking pages from all these cults and Scientology, but duplicating them on the screen so that you can see the actions of, what they do. All right. Let's get to your questions and comments. Let's go questions first. Let's change it up. I typed in the wrong thing here. How do so many why isn't it work, guys? Why can't this just stay working all the time? How do so many unattractive men become leaders of cult of personalities? Example, Lafayette, Trumpety Trump, and Manson. Yeah, I don't know. It's called charisma. People just listen to the words. They don't look at where they're coming from, Charismatic shit. Charismatic shit. And when you're in front of them, the ability to make you feel that specialness, that individual, Oh, thank you, Diane. You always find cool stuff for shows. I thought this was really interesting. If you're a fan of American Horror Story. Hi, Nico. Fun fact, he was also on The Office as the nephew of Michael who gets spanked for... Oh, okay. I've never seen all of The Office, I'll be honest. But yeah, I find him fascinating as an actor. Absolutely fascinating. All right, guys. I am going to get ready for Trauma Tuesday. He's not the Messiah, but a very naughty boy. All righty. Yeah, guys, I don't like clowns either. Lottie's lore. I'm seeing a lot of anti-clown rhetoric. I'm not a clown fan. No. They freak my freak. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes. Yes, there are plenty of cult leaders before Manson throughout history. Correct. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, I am off to Trauma Tuesday. I'm going to throw some other stuff up here. I'm going to leave you guys with something like, listen, and I want to preface this 100%. This is not a hate video. I've noticed, you guys, I never collaborated with Reese. Not because I didn't want to. I think she's hilarious. And, Reese has been getting attacked a lot. Like a lot. Like, I don't understand it a lot. But I think she's hilarious. I honestly think she's hilarious. And today I was looking over one of her videos to just somebody said something, somewhere, some bullshit. And I was like, I don't think she's saying that. I'm going to look. And so I pulled up, she did 2 videos yesterday. And on the first one, I just like Reese and I have a very similar talking style, where we're both easily distracted by things. And so her video, sometimes she'll be saying something and then a thought pops into her head and she says it, and it's the most hilarious thing in the world. And I noticed today while I was like scrolling and clicking via the transcript that if you watch her video that way, it's kind of like watching it all the way through live. It's kind of hilarious. And I clicked on random things, guys. I wasn't even reading what I was clicking. I was just like scroll, click, scroll, click, scroll, click. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. I'm just going to do it for you for like 1 minute. Because no, they were not. No, he was not. Miss Chicago Jane, John Wayne Gacy was a clown at my daughter's 5th birthday. To this day, I won't like clowns because of that man. He was in my yard. Girl, that is wild AF. Wild AF. Okay, let me show you guys this phenomenon. Okay. Here's Reese's stream from yesterday. A passive-aggressive holiday season. Okay, so she starts out.
You guys, I'm on time. Everybody congratulate me. Joanne Ventrilla, welcome. I get that, Kristen Melinda. I get it a lot. Panko, it's a lot to take in. Speaking of lilac, this lavender color, I feel like because I'm wearing Lady Gaga's
See,
new
guys, I'm just scrolling.
Blush. Technically,
Random
it's
click.
turquoise. Okay. But that's a type of blue tax. Helena, thank you for your super chat. And thank you for still won't do phone sex face-to-face on FaceTime. I can't do it. And you know what was weird? Tommy was like, next time we're going to do it on FaceTime. And I was like, next time, typical standard produce bag, if you will. I throw that in the trash and something fell out. Well, I don't know. Sweet. You know, where can we find? I'll tell you what, Russ, I'll go down to the Church of Scientology out there and all the boys come to the yard. Now, I don't want to be doing that because I'm boning a specific guy. But you just go stand out in the country and people come to the yard. That's how it works. In love on YouTube, I'm told. Oh, wait, I have. It does happen. Live stream it. Yes. Okay, so Katie, Russ wants to come see you for Christmas. Looks like he just messaged me. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, I knew your last name. I talked to you before. What is out? What the fuck does that mean? What in the 2024? Katie, it's 2024. What the fuck does that mean? For long, brother, if we have anything to do with it. We're going to have a wedding, I'm thinking February, like in front of a nice big fireplace somewhere with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell and like some hot chocolate. That sounds fun too. How he used to go skiing and like he would do these backflips and like I would like go on. I was like, how did you put on the skis? It's still there. I think it's youthful. I think it's fun. I was afraid to do it, but I'm into it now. Jump in. You got to get married a few times. Get a few of those under your belt. Laura DePreet. I love Laura DePreet. And I'm absolutely love it. I say us because I get to go to the wedding. Oh my God. Reese Scoville. Does that go? Thank you for your wisdom tonight. I love what's happening here. I love. Okay. Oh, that's cute too. Quib Scoville. Yeah. Won't we be sad to drop the Quibell? Just kidding. I know that he loves it. And I know his family loves that I still have the last name Quibell. And therefore I enjoy keeping it because if you want to, so we can watch Russ and secretly text about it. Here comes Fred.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That just literally, like it just made my day. It just made my day a little bit. Like it was just, guys, I get it. I'm not promoting her channel either way. I just know she gets a lot of hate. And that's fine. Here's the deal, guys. I'm not telling you who to like, who not to like, who watch, who not to watch. You guys can watch whoever you want. I just noticed that today while I was, I was just trying to scrub and it was funny. It was just funny to me. I find, sometimes nonsensical stuff, cracks my shit up. I thought her and Tommy broke up too, but I guess they're back together. I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't watch her stuff. I was just trying to confirm, some bullshit that people were saying, because that's what I do. If I hear bullshit, I don't just run with it. I try to like triple confirm it. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, guys, apparently, StreamYard is having an audio issue and nobody else is able to go on it except for me. So, you're going to see me a lot today if StreamYard doesn't fix their shit because I don't use StreamYard, y'all. I quit that shit a while ago because I didn't like the quality. But anyway, I'll be back later. I'm going to set up my next videos here. I got to get my ass on the treadmill after Trauma Tuesdays and still contemplate the combination, uncombination, of things. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be putting the Gen Exercise and this channel together into one channel that we'll talk about all kinds of things, including Scientology. And then I'm going to keep my political channel totally separate because I totally get it. Politics is very upsetting. I'm upset about it also, but it helps me therapeutically to get that out, Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. What? Miss Chicago, are you for real? For real? Reese lives up the road from me. I just don't think she'd fit in with the Southern people here. Well, she's not very Tennessee. I think she should watch like every episode of Reba and figure it out from there. I fucking love Reba McEntire. That woman is wild. That woman is wild AF. If y'all haven't seen, and I'll see if I can play like a tiny second of it. I'll probably have to delete it after this live, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck it. Because let me see here. Reba SNL. So yes, search. Thank you. Okay. So this was an election update. That they did on Weekend Update. Okay. And they had, somebody doing Reba. So let me pull this up here, I'm never not going to call my boobs floppy naturals after this. Again, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to Lorne Michaels, the rightful owner, and no copyright infringement is intended. My Lord and Savior, Lauren, please let me play this teeny bit of this clip. Thank you. All right.
Presidential elections, celebrities are coming out of the woodwork to endorse their preferred candidate. Here to comment is country music icon and judge on The Voice, Reba McEntire.
All right, so here she comes. Ready? Look at her. Look at her. It's fantastic. The whole outfit, everything.
Hi, America.
Hey, America.
Hi, Reba. So you're here to endorse a presidential candidate?
Is she?
Well, ain't that what everybody wants to know? Who's Bad Bunny endorsing? Who's Reba voting for? Well, here's the thing. Call me Shawn Mendes, because I'm still figuring it out.
Everything she does, you guys have to watch her physicality in this sketch, because if you've watched Reba on The Voice, you see that she duplicates the physicality 110%.
Okay, so you're undecided. I mean, Reba, the election's next week.
Well, see, I come from a little town called McAllister, Oklahoma.
Do you see how she's doing this? And she's jiggling around like that?
And we don't make up our minds quickly. In fact, we got a saying, if you think the milk is spoiled, give it another sip.
I don't know if that's a real thing in McAllister, Oklahoma. If anybody's in McAllister, Oklahoma in the chat, y'all can tell me.
I don't understand that.
All right, look, when I'm on
You see how she jumped up?
The Voice, I don't know if this person singing is a Republican or a Democrat. All I care is they're Team Reba and not Team Snoop Diggity Dog, Michael Souffle, or the blonde Japanese woman from No Doubt.
Miss Chicago, Jane, you've never seen an episode of SNL? It's been on for 50 years. Girl, you got to get on that train. SNL is fantastic. I love it.
She's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, so who are you?
The blonde Japanese woman. If you guys don't remember the controversy that when Gwen Stefani, so much of No Doubt stuff was usurping Japanese culture, and then she tried to pretend that she was Japanese, and she is not Japanese.
Voting for?
Well, why can't they both be president? Like our milk in McAllister, creamy and crunchy.
Is milk like really bad in Oklahoma?
Are you kidding me, Miss Chicago Jane? The Southerners are like, is that milk spoiled? I'm gonna try that out again. Give it one more sip. Give it one more sip. Oh, Cuddly Floof, thank you. I love you too. I love you too. Oh.
Look.
You see how she's dancing in her chair?
If you're white, purple, gay, black, skinny, fake boobs, or stinky flapping naturals.
Fake boobs or stinky flapping naturals. Johnny, every other year somebody says this. SNL is no longer funny. It's like, you know, my Giants, my San Francisco Giants. One year they're fantastic. The next year they suck. It's okay. Comedy ebbs and flows. Comedy ebbs and flows.
If you can sing, you're Team Reba.
Okay, well, what side is Team Reba?
Well, listen. Because growing up, we didn't even know what political parties were.
I'm sorry. This standing up whole thing is it's fucking dead on.
We were Methodist atheists.
We're Methodist atheists.
Mama was a Republican and Daddy was Pennywise.
Wait, Pennywise the clown?
I'm a redhead, ain't I?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, Colin, we didn't have much. Our house had no water, so we had to drink Mama's perfume.
This story just gets wilder and wilder.
Wait, she could afford perfume but not water?
Mama worked 59 jobs just to keep us in school, and Daddy only had the one, eating kids. Well, heck, though, my mama was all but 75 pounds, and 67 of them was breasts. But I watched her put on her finest voting dress and crawl down to the polls, not because she couldn't walk, but because them stinky naturals swang low.
Aren't you here to endorse someone?
Well, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'm going to vote right now on my phone.
No, you can't vote on your phone.
Yeah, no, it's easy. You just plug in your social, your credit card, and send a pic of your red and curlies.
No. No.
You want a copy?
No, I'm good. Did you give your some random website your credit card and a nude photo?
Well, that's broken.
I know. I'm sorry. I am. Yeah. Oh man, it's making me wheeze, guys.
It's like we say in Oklahoma when people ask us if we drink our milk with a fork. Yes.
Oh, I love Kenan Thompson's Reba. Kenan Thompson's Reba is fucking fantastic. I agree. But this was hilarious. This was spot on. Listen, I have watched all of SNL, even like the stuff from the year before I was born, 1975. I've missed out on some of the last seasons, but SNL was a huge part of my adolescence growing up. And for those of you that think I'm funny, I learned everything I know about comedy and improv and, saying weird shit from the hours and hours and hours that I watched of Saturday Night Live and impersonating those skits. So there you go. All right, guys. I just wanted to end on a super happy note because I fucking love that skit. It's hilarious. And guys, wash your floppy naturals. Thank you, as always, to my mods for keeping this stream right and tight. Thank you for all of you viewing to know why we're here, what we're up against, what we keep fighting, and the truth that we're constantly trying to bring out here on this channel. Please go see my other videos. Click that link for my link tree, and I'll see you next time on the Flippity Dippity.